Aloha everyone. So glad you made it to Aloha Nadi Yoga. I'll be guiding you in your yin practice today to open up the shoulder girdle. So make sure you have a bolster, blocks, a strap, a yoga strap, and get into something really comfy. If you don't have bolsters, just bring in some pillows and you can use books for blocks instead, finding books that are about the same size. If you love this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and to let anybody know about it. And I look forward to seeing you on your mat. Aloha. Welcome to your yin yoga practice. So today again, we're going to be focusing on opening the shoulder girdle. My name is Nadi and I'll be guiding you in your practice today. So thank you so much for showing up on this channel. So today we're going to start by just coming into a wide-legged child's pose. So open up the knees, mat width apart, big toes to touch. And allow yourself to extend the arms out in front of you, sending the hips back into the heels and reaching the arms forward, releasing the forehead on to the mat. If it feels better for you, you can have a blanket, a folded blanket, tucked behind the knees, if that feels good to you. I'm just going to take a few deep breaths here just to get grounded into our practice today. Take a deep inhale into the lower abdomen. And a slow exhale, releasing the shoulders, releasing the heart down towards the mat. Inhale deep down into the hips. Exhale, relax the jaw, the forehead. Start tapping into the sensations in your body, noticing where you've been holding tension. In this yin yoga practice, we're really going to focus on compressing some areas in our poses. And then when we release, it's a feeling of rebound where all the blood comes rushing back into the joints, allowing us to heal some of the deeper ligaments and tissues surrounding the joints. We're going to be holding the poses between 3 to 5 minutes long. Discomfort is okay, pain is not. So learn to connect with your body, the relationship with your body, and understand when it's important for you to maybe back off or modify. Take another deep breath here and exhale it out. Inhale, pull yourself up into a tabletop. Release the blanket onto the side. And we're going to come into a shoulder opening pose. So we had our knees out really wide for wide-legged child's pose. This time I'd like you to bring your knees in slightly. So if you were out here, bring them in together slightly, but not all the way in. So you want maybe a third of the way out, okay? And how this is going to work is still big toes to touch, sending your hips back into the heels. Take a block. Okay? You can take a foam block or a cork block, whatever feels good to you. Place it in front of the left knee with some space. So maybe leave a foot of space in between. Start turning your torso to the left. Bring the right forearm down in front of the block, just like this. Okay? Take that left hand, tent the fingers out, just beside the block. And then start sliding the right arm down further away from you. So it's perpendicular to your body, crossing underneath your body. Take the block, place it underneath your right temple and rest your head onto the block. Inhale deep into the lower abdomen. Exhale, press the right hip down towards the right heel as you relax the torso onto the arm. You can use that left hand for leverage to press out of the mat. It increases the twist, the feeling of the twist. Recognize the sensations between the shoulder blade. So breathing in between the shoulder blades. As you exhale, relaxing the shoulders down, relaxing the temple into the block. Feel that deeper protraction of the right shoulder blade. It's kind of like it's pulling. It's stretching to the right side, scooping underneath and over. And just breathe here with that compression. Maybe closing the eyes. With every exhalation, allow your body to weigh heavy into the earth. So feel your whole torso land on your thighs. "30 more seconds here." And then slowly press yourself back up, sending your torso up towards the sky. And then reach your hips up, coming onto the knees. So your knees are directly underneath the hips. Take a moment here, arms along your sides. Roll the shoulders back and down. Take a moment to close the eyes and notice the sensation in the right shoulder compared to the left. Place the palms of your hands at the base of the lower back. Reach the elbows back towards each other. Reach the heart up as you draw the ribs down and navel into the spine. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, press the hip bones and pubic bone forward as you reach the elbows back, maybe looking up, reaching heart up, coming into a small camel pose. Take a deep breath here. Maybe activating the glutes a little bit, pressing the top of the feet into the mat, really pressing the pubic bone forward, keeping the hips stacked above the knees. Take another deep breath. Exhale, slowly with control, draw your shoulders back above the hips. And then start to send your hips back down onto the heels, resting your hands on your thighs, closing the eyes, taking a deep breath here. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Take the block, place it in front of the right knee, about a foot away. Turn your torso slightly to the right so that it's facing the right leg. Bring your left forearm down onto the mat in front of the block, palm facing up. Place your right hand on the mat, tenting the fingers right alongside the block. Slide the left forearm down and away from you towards the side. All the way, reaching as you keep the hips down in the heels. And then readjust the block to find the left temple. Take a deep breath into the lower abdomen. And then exhale, relax your hips, relax your head. Allow the melting of the torso down in the shoulder. Inhale between the shoulder blades. Exhale, relax the left shoulder down. Inhale into the side ribs. Exhale, maybe press into the mat with your right fingers, twisting slightly more. Notice that left shoulder blade sliding away from your middle back. Creating space between the shoulder blades. Allow the eyes to relax in their sockets. Releasing tension in the jaw by opening and closing the jaw if that feels good. Allowing the breath to relax your nervous system. Enjoy the stillness within, maybe finding that silence can be quite nourishing. It can also bring you more aware of your thoughts. And this is the time now to recognize if you need to entertain these thoughts or if you can let them go. To become more conscious of the choices you can make with your own thought patterns. 30 more seconds here. Keep releasing the weight down into the mat. And then when you're ready, slowly pull yourself back up by pushing with the right hand. Sending your shoulders above your hips. Inhaling, arms overhead, palms facing each other. Exhale, cactusing your arms here. Inhale, reach up. Interlace fingers, send the arms forward, rounding your back, coming into a little cat. Bringing your arms parallel to the mat. Inhale, reaching arms overhead, release the bind. Exhale, cactus your arms, sliding the shoulder blades down your back, reaching the heart up. And release. Laying in a prone position. Come to lay on your belly. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck the elbows by your sides of the ribs. So send the elbows down and by your sides. Point the toes back. And then inhale, baby cobra. So take a moment here to just feel the cobra. Reach the shoulders down. So slide the shoulder blades down your back. Feel a slight opening and broadening of the collarbones. Reach the crown forward. Look down at your mat to try and relax the neck. No crimping of the neck. Keep breathing here. Feel a slight constriction in the lower back. And that's okay. And slight arch. If you want to make this more active, you can always lift the kneecaps even more, pressing the top of the feet down into the mat. And then slowly lower the forehead back down on the mat, relaxing the legs. Take the left arm out directly sideways. We're going to come into scorpion, floor scorpion. So your left arm is directly sideways. Take your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Bend the right knee. And just press yourself onto your side so that the right foot lands behind the left thigh. If that's not accessible to you, you can just have the legs stacked one on top of the other. You can even bend the knees, just like so. Just making sure that we're focusing on opening the left shoulder girdle. You can have a block or a folded blanket underneath the left temple. Just like this. Take a deep breath here. And a slow exhalation, releasing yourself into this posture. Feeling the left shoulder opening up all the way into the girdle, the pectoral muscle leading right to the front of the collarbone, right in front of the heart. Focus on the quality of your breath. So maybe counting, inhaling for 4. And then as you exhale, counting out for 6. Slowing down the exhalations. Being patient with the process of allowing, It's easy for us to want to rush out of something. The thoughts keep us pushing forward to the next thing, and yet Yin really does help us come back to stillness and start enjoying what is coming up in the present moment. Really feeling deeply in what we are experiencing now. Allow yourself that time to fully appreciate your practice. Keep releasing your weight, feeling the shoulder open up even more. Notice what's coming up for you. Notice if you're impatient or if you want to move. Recognize it as the observer seeing on the outside. Maybe what needs to be done differently. Maybe just challenge yourself to stay still. On your next inhale, slowly roll yourself back onto your belly. Sliding that arm in, pushing the block forward, releasing the forehead down. Send the arms along your sides, interlace the fingers behind the lower back. And then inhale, lift head, lift chest, reach the arms down and away from you, pressing the top of the hands towards the heels. Take a deep breath here. And release. Hands underneath shoulders, reach that right arm directly sideways. And come onto the other side here. Take your left hand underneath the left shoulder, bend the left knee, press yourself onto your side into floor scorpion. Block can be underneath the head here. So just notice how it feels on this side. And at the same time, notice that decompression happening in the left shoulder. Maybe even as you're moving into this compression of the right shoulder, you'd like to wiggle or slightly gently circling that left shoulder around. Feeling maybe a tingling or kind of a sparkly sensation in that left shoulder. Fluidity. Rebounding. And then relax the fingers of the right hand. Relax the palm. Bring awareness to the inner forearm, leading all the way up into the upper arm and the right shoulder girdle. Take a deep breath into the right shoulder. Exhale, relax your legs, your thighs, your hips. Notice if your eyelids are closed, if there's any sensations or colors coming up behind the eyelids. And try and visualize these colors and see if they change. They're changing, or if you're seeing any lights are flashing behind the eyelids. And again, if that top leg isn't going back, you can bend the knees and stack them together, just like this. Or lengthen the legs out, stacked one on top of the other. You can even have a blanket between the legs or a block, just like this. Notice if you're gripping anywhere. Try and soften the grip. And then on your next inhale, just rolling yourself back onto your belly. Really slowly sliding that arm back to center. Releasing the block. Just stack one palm on top of the other and resting your forehead down on your hands. Take a moment here to just release the shoulders. Notice the decompression happening in the elbows, in the shoulders. Sometimes for you, the elbow might be decompressing as well. And then when you're ready, press yourself up into a tabletop. Come onto the sit bones. Take your blanket. And set your blanket up so that you can roll it, so that it can be rolled underneath your shoulder blades. So it depends on how thick you want it to be. I'm just going to do this and then roll it like this. If you want it to be less thick, you can just leave part of the blanket opened, just like this. And then place it onto the mat. This will go underneath the shoulder blades. Okay? that spot on your mat. And then plant the soles of the feet down on the mat. Lower the forearms down. Find the blanket with the shoulder blades. And then just lower the head down onto the mat. Scoop up that right shoulder blade and left shoulder blade underneath and down until you find that opening. And then you can open the arms out into a T. You can even have them resting overhead. This is not nearly as deep as the other fish poses that we could be doing. And it's allowing us to open our arms out into cactus so that our arms can land on the mat. If you're sensitive in your neck, even in this height, you can always tuck a blanket or a towel underneath your head. The soles of the feet remain onto the mat, or you can bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees out into Supta Baddha Hastasana. Take deep, nourishing breaths deep down in the lower abdomen, filling all the way up, expanding inside of the torso cavity, inside of the pelvis. And then as you exhale, relax the lower back and the sacrum. Relax the back of the head, lengthening the back of the neck. Maybe here closing the eyes again. If you'd like more of a sensation, maybe of fluidity in the neck, you can start swaying your head gently side to side. Breathe into the upper back between the shoulder blades. As you exhale, relax the heart center down into the blanket. Relax the third eye, a gentle space right between the eyebrows, allowing your skin to melt down towards the earth, your ears to relax down, the skin on your chin, your cheekbones, your jaw. Relaxing deeper. Notice if you're gripping in the back. Relax the back line of the body down deeper. option to send the arms overhead if you had them in cactus. Opening the side body more, flexing the shoulders very deeply here. Very wide open, vulnerable place for us. Allowing the cosmos to rest on our hearts. Take 2 deep breaths, lower abdomen. Exhale it out. Again. When you're ready, bring the arms down by your sides. Close the knees with your hands. And then just press yourself back up onto the forearms, or you can turn onto your side first and then come back up onto the sit bones in a seated pose. So we're going to come into Gomukhasana legs and Garudasana arms. So remove the blanket. Take 2 blocks here. One like this. And the other like this. So the one closest to your lower back is shorter, wide. The one further away from you is at its highest setting. You can take your bolster, place it on top of the blocks, just like that. I don't have a bolster with me right now, but I do have pillows. I'm going to be stacking my pillows. This. My hips are about a foot away from the base of the bolster. Plant the soles of the feet down on the mat. And then slowly lower the back onto the bolster. You can wiggle waggle. Reposition. And rest back down. Opening the arms out. Notice how that feels. Take a couple of breaths here. We're just settling here. Not very long. It feels really great, huh? Allowing your arms to open up. And then take the right thigh, wrap it on top of the left. So allow the right thigh to rest on top of the left. Plant the left foot towards the right more. And then press yourself up onto the sit bones. Come all the way forward into Garudasana legs so that the right knee is stacked on top of the left. Pull the legs in towards you. And just notice here how this feels. Inhale, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, cactus your arms. Lifting the heart up. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, the left arm on top of the left for eagle arms. Garudasana arms. So Gomukhasana legs and Garudasana arms. Take a moment here to feel the bind in the arms. If this isn't accessible to you, you can just have the forearms against each other without binding the hands. Lift the elbows up parallel to the shoulders. Move the forearms away from the face. Lift up from the torso. So feel your navel pulling up and in. Grounding down into the hips, the hip bones rooting down. Take a deep breath between the shoulder blades. Exhale, draw the navel in as you keep lifting, broadening the collarbones. Lifting the heart up. Try not to collapse. You can rest the forehead down onto the forearms if you'd like. Maybe closing the eyes. Just feel that nice centering of the midline between the arms, between the thighs. Steady breath. Again, maybe counting in for 4 and exhaling out for 6. Press the forearms into each other. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Notice where you feel the compression. And dive deep into the sensation of that compression. On your next inhale, unbind the arms, open them out into cactus. And release the arms down by your sides, palms facing down. Reaching heart up still. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, send your arms away behind you, palms facing each other. Almost as if you want to press your hands into your bolster. Take a deep breath in. And exhale it out, releasing the hands. Send yourself back onto the bolster, resting your back on the bolster. Unbind the legs. Bring the soles of the feet together. Open the knees wide, open the arms wide. Take a moment to breathe here. Exhale, relax your lower back, middle back, cervical spine, back of the head in your bolster. Notice the shoulder girdles, how it feels to release, letting it all go. Maybe even doing small rotations, just micro rotations with the shoulders. And then bring the soles of the feet back on the mat about hip width apart. Take the left thigh on top of the right. Move the right foot to the left. Plant the hands down beside you on your mat, palms facing down. And then when you're ready, press yourself up. Send your weight forward. Come into Gomukhasana, legs. So the right knee is underneath the left, so the left knee is stacked above the right. Bring the legs in. Feel the left sit bone rooted down into the mat. But if it's not, if you feel like it's lifting up, you can always tuck a blanket underneath that hip to support you, if need be. Take a moment here to feel your legs. In this pose, feel the hips. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, right arm on top of left for a bind. Eagle arms. Inhale, lift the heart up, drawing the front ribs in, navel in and up. Lengthening the spine from the tailbone. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Forearms away from the head. Inhale to the back of the shoulders. Exhale. Shoulders away from the ears. Maybe lowering the forehead down on the forearms, but keep lifting from the heart. Try not to collapse inwards here. Press the forearms into each other. Broaden the collarbones. Breathe right between the shoulder blades. Slowing down the thoughts. Notice if your inner dialogue is telling you to get out or run. Notice if you can stay. Breathe through the edge. Take 2 more deep breaths all the way down into the lower abdomen. On your next inhale, release the bind, open the arms out into cactus. Notice the heat. Maybe you're feeling something, or maybe even cooling sensation in the shoulder girdle. And then exhale, release the hands down on the mat. Walk yourself back, resting your back on your bolster. Unbind legs, heel toe the feet out, mat width apart or even wider. Option to collapse the knees in or just gently windshield wiping the knees side to side. Opening the arms out, palms facing up. And just recognize how this feels. Maybe you're feeling a cooling sensation in the extremities, in the fingers, palms. When we compress, the circulation of the blood is cut off slightly. When we decompress, the blood floods into the tissues, the ligaments, the joints, allows these areas to heal. And then slowly heel toe the feet back underneath the knees. Take a moment here, take a deep breath. Exhale it out. Reach the legs long. in front of you. Flexing the toes. Place the palms down on the mat, pressing yourself up into a staff pose. If you need to have a rolled up blanket under the knees here, you can do that. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward for caterpillar. Inhale, lift halfway up, flex the toes towards you. Exhale, bend deeper, fold deeper into the caterpillar. You can do that a few times, a few rounds of breath coming up and then folding in as you exhale. And then finally, just hold your fold. You always have the choice to remove the blanket if you want to go in deeper. And then walk yourself back up here. Plant the soles of the feet on the mat. Remove the bolster and pillows and the blocks to the side. And we'll come into Virasana sitting on 1 or 2 blocks. So the height of the blocks can vary for you. You can sit at the shortest height of the block. You can also have it second highest setting with 1 block. You can have 2 blocks on the wide side to feel like your sit bones have more contact. I'm going to sit on 2 blocks stacked. It creates less compression in the knees as well. The higher you are, the more space it creates behind the knees. Yeah. And again, the blocks are between the feet, the ankles. So we're going to do a few things here for our shoulders. But first, just witness how it feels to just settle here in Virasana. Feel the top of the feet contacting the mat, the shins. Feel a kind of sense of spaciousness in your pelvis, in the thighs, the knees. And a sense of lengthening from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Bring awareness to the sensations already in the shoulders after what we've just done with our body, with our shoulders. So take your belt, okay, and tie it up. So make a loop about the width of your shoulders. So draw it in. You can measure it just by bringing your belt along your chest and seeing if that'll work for you. You can even have it slightly shorter than the width of your shoulders. You're going to send the arms inside of the loop. The belt can be at the wrists. They can be right above the elbows as well. We're not going to have the belt higher up today on the upper arm, just because it's difficult sometimes to have the belt come into your forehead when you're lifting the arms up. So just have your arms directly parallel to the mat, just like this. Your belt is wrapped. I'm wrapping the belt around my forearm, right above the elbow. The goal here, palms facing in towards each other, thumbs facing up. The goal is to press the arms into the belt. Keeping that pressure going, feel your shoulder girdle strengthening here. Send the shoulder girdle back. So send the shoulders back in their sockets. Drawing the heart up, drawing the navel in. Inhale, reach the arms overhead as you press the arms into the belt. And then exhale, lower the arms back down along your torso. Inhale, arms back parallel to the mat. Press the forearms into the belt. Strong shoulders here. And then send the arms overhead. Try and keep your shoulders above your hips. Try not to lean back or lean forward. Press the arms into the belt. And then with control, lower the arms down, all the way down. Keep pressing in the belt and then release. Take a breath here. Exhale. And then release the belt. Take a moment here. So I'll set myself up so that you can see. So that you can see my back. We're going to come into half Baddha Hastasana. Okay. Before we do that, settle back in Virasana if you moved. Palms landing on the thighs, and just drop the right ear to the right shoulder without lifting the right shoulder to the ear. You can bring the right hand on top of the head, allow the weight of the hand to pull down on your head without pulling. Just naturally allow it to happen here. Option to drop the chin down towards the right shoulder. The other option is to reach the left arm away from you, reaching the fingers, maybe even reaching the arm back behind you, reaching the fingers. Breathe into the left side of the neck. Feel that lengthening from behind the ear, base of the skull, down the muscles of the neck, down into the top of the shoulder. Bring your left arm back down to your side. Press your head back up with your fingers on your right temple. Release the right arm down by your side. Inhale. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down and drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Keep lengthening, keeping yourself stacked above the hips. Option to take that left hand on top of the head, drawing the head down with the weight of your hand. Option to reach the right arm away from you, reaching those fingers. Maybe taking the arm back behind you and reaching on a diagonal angle. Maybe dropping the chin down towards your left shoulder. Breathe into the right side of the neck and shoulder. Finding that sweet spot where you're like, ooh, that's intense. Not good or bad, just intense or interesting or noticing. Take one more deep breath. Stay for the exhalation. Draw the right arm down along your side. Bring the head back up with the fingers on the left temple. And release. Reach the right arm down, powering the fingers down towards the earth. So feel strong, gluing the fingers together. Drawing the arm by your side, activating that arm. Take the left arm, bring it behind you. Place the forearm on the back, the middle back, thoracic spine. Grab onto the bicep of the right arm. Start inching your fingers higher up on the bicep. Grab that arm tight. Close the gap, drawing the front ribs in, navel in, lifting heart up. Close the gap between your left elbow and the side of the body. So draw that elbow in, feel the forearm pressing into your back. Keep powering that right arm down. Breathe here. Keep bringing that left elbow underneath the shoulder and rolling that left shoulder back above the elbow. Strengthening the rotator cuffs, the girdle of the shoulder, the muscles in the shoulder. Compressing a lot of places. And release. The left arm down. Feel the blood rushing back into the left arm. Take a moment to feel that happening. Wow. It almost feels to me like my left arm is longer than my right. Now lift your arms up parallel to the mat, palms facing down. Reach out of the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together here. And then pull the shoulder blades down as you squeeze them, drawing the navel in. Activate your arms. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale. Flip the palms up from the shoulder girdle. So roll the shoulders up and back, palms facing up. Reach. And then exhale, turn palms down from the shoulders. not just from the wrists and the forearms. So you're leading, it's a wave, you're leading from the shoulders up. Inhale, flip shoulders up and back, opening the palms up to the sky. Keep reaching. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, roll them back down, reaching the palms down, reaching the fingers away. And release the arms down. Take an inhale. Exhale. If you need to increase the height of your blocks where you're sitting, please do so. Reach the left arm down towards the mat. So point the fingers down, activate the fingers, glue them together. Straighten that arm as much as you can. Take that right arm, palm facing towards the back. Draw the arm behind you. Grab onto the left bicep. Walk the right hand up the bicep a bit more. Roll the right shoulder back and down. Right elbow underneath the shoulder. So press the forearm into the back, the elbow in towards your torso. Lengthen the sternum. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, draw the front ribs in as you lift the sternum up. Feel the sit bones grounded into the blocks. Keep pressing your arm into your back. Keep lengthening that left arm down towards the mat. Breathing deeply. Take one more breath. Exhale it out. And slowly release the back arm. Release them by your sides and allow them to hang. Take a moment to feel the blood rushing back into the right shoulder, arm, hands, fingers. And just rotate the wrists here. Nice rotation of the wrists. And then switch directions. And then take your blocks, place them to the front of the mat. Open the knees mat width apart, big toes to touch. Sit your hips back down into the heels. Bring the elbows on the blocks. So place your blocks about shoulder width apart so that there's room between the blocks for your forehead. You can have a bolster or rolled up towel underneath your torso for support. Bring your elbows on your blocks as close to the ears as possible. Okay, so you really want the elbows to be close to the head so that your triceps are really pointing down so that your shoulders are rotating out. Yeah. Palms together. Release the forehead down on the mat. And then send your hands behind your head for reverse prayer. You can always readjust. Take a deep breath into the middle and upper back. Exhale, relax your chest and your hips down into the heels. We're here for one more minute. Breathe deeply to the side body, all the way into the armpits, all the way behind the heart. And then releasing the arms down, walking yourself back up, placing the blocks to the side. We're going to come into our final shavasana. You're going to have a pillow or block underneath your head, or you can simply just take a blanket. Roll it out so that your roller is smaller. And then you can rest your neck onto that rolled up kind of log of your blanket. So place the soles of the feet on the mat. Slowly come down on your back. Find the roller with your cervical spine, your neck. You can have a bolster or a pillow underneath the knees for support. Allow yourself to finally rest in your final shavasana, opening the arms out and receiving pose, and just allowing yourself to completely let go here. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhalation. Relaxing the shoulders, noticing the sensations now in your upper back, front, side, and back body. Allow yourself a good 5 to 10 minutes here, taking as much time as you need in your final shavasana. Mahalo nui loa for joining me today. Namaste.